I was just saying, once we go to the graphic, are you doing all three or are you coming back? The Professional Pickleball Association is pickleball at the highest level. And this week, the tour has descended upon the Peach State in Atlanta, Georgia, in a tournament that has already seen major upsets and electrified fans. But they ain't seen nothing yet, because this is Championship Sunday on Championship Court. A spectacular Sunday in the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia, and we are excited for a championship Sunday as 5 gold medal matches will be played in all here at Lifetime Fitness in Peachtree Corners. And hello everybody, welcome to our coverage of Championship Sunday of the Atlanta Open presented by Acrotech here on Championship Court. Dave Benz hanging out with Scott Golden. Hannah Johns will be along in just a little bit. And Scott, this tournament has been a little bit different here for the PPA this week because there is no double dipping. You lose, you can't win a gold medal, and that has led to some big upsets this week.
Absolutely, and one of the other things that they did with the format is they gave these players an opportunity to get some rest and recuperation up to the semifinals. They played Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they're going to let these championship games be played out here today in front of us, and I think that's going to be significant with the level of play, and we're going to see some really good pickleball.
Everybody will be well rested, but it's also a mental challenge because you've had a lot of time to think about playing for a gold medal as well, and this is the 5th stop of the 2021 season for the PPA. After this, the schedule will shift west a little bit, and maybe the humidity that might be a factor here today, not going to be a factor for the next several tournaments.
That's right, and also I want to mention that the best 3 out of 5 is a new thing that they're doing as well. The past tournaments, it's been best 2 out of 3, and they're implementing the best 3 out of 5 in an attempt to make this pro level even more professional, and I'm very excited to see how this goes.
Well, the other thing that has been unique as the season has grown and as pickleball has grown has been the international influence on the sport. We will see a lot of international players playing for gold here today. For more on how this sport has grown internationally, let's check in with Hannah Johns.
Thanks, Dave, and I'm here with someone who knows the sport so well, Harry Chickma.
Well, Hannah, PPA does things first class, and this event is one of the primetime events on the calendar. Over 1,200 athletes, 200 professionals competing, and they're playing for $100,000. If that didn't sound like a lot of money, it's actually the ranking points they are focused on. The further you go in the tournament, the better ranking points, and that means more appearance fee moving forward. The conditions are perfect here at Lifetime Fitness. It's going to be intense in hot Atlanta, and I can't wait for the competition.
Absolutely, and we also have to talk about the international flair that pickleball has. We have athletes from France, Russia, Germany, Canada, Brazil, Slovakia, all over the globe. These players have come to participate in this amazing event.
Great stuff, Hannah, and we are going to take our first time out. Don't go anywhere. The opening serve coming your way after this timeout here on Championship Court.
The pickleball community is growing rapidly and evolving. Duper brings accuracy, transparency, and adaptability to the sport. Fair and competitive play is a better experience for everyone. This is our pickleball community. And now Duper will make every match count.
The Dink is your new source for all things pickleball. Shop the largest selection of pickleball gear from top brands like Selkirk, Paddletech, Onyx, Vulcan, and more, as well as the new Feel a Pickleball collection of footwear and apparel. You'll also find stories, player profiles, and videos from around the world of pickleball. Visit us at thedinkpickleball.com, the exclusive home of PPA merchandise. Stories, gear, intel, the new player in pickleball.
The Atlanta Open, presented by Acrotech, is brought to you by PPA. Play where the pros play. By Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good. By Championship Court, your professional pickleball network. By Foot Solutions, your feet are the foundation of your health. Let us take care of them for you. By Fila Pickleball. By The Dink, the new player in pickleball. And by Head Pickleball. Performance is a head game.
Do you know that ref's name right there? Is it Michael?
And we are just about set for our first match of the day here in Atlanta. And what a match it should be. Women's singles gold. Catherine Parento, the Canadian, now calls Florida home, taking on Leah Jansen, who has been playing fantastic. Leah played for the gold medal just a couple of weeks ago at the U.S. Open in Naples, Florida, and she has been on quite a hot streak. And really, Scott, this should be an exciting match between these two young ladies.
15 seconds. We have Miss Jansen to serve.
And Miss Jansen will have the serve, and we are underway. So Jansen in the far court, Parento in the near court.
1-0.
An early 1-0 lead here for Jansen. Nice dig on the baseline by Jansen. And that was out of bounds, so a 2-0 lead. They played 2-11, must win by 2. Best 2 games out of 3 to win gold here. And that was just long on the shot by Parento.
Yeah, Dave, so far, Leah Jansen coming out hot. She's up 3-0.
Pretty good crowd on hand here for this match to start off Championship Sunday on center court. And the side out will give it over to Catherine Parento, her first chance to try and put some points up in this first game.
0-3.
Both Parento and Jansen with a tennis background before moving to pickleball. Scott, both of these players had interesting quarterfinals matchups, or excuse me, semifinals matchups coming into this Championship Sunday.
Absolutely.
And that shot wide.
Yeah, Catherine Parento faced off against her old boss and coach at Michigan State, Simone Jardim, and in the second game, Simone had to retire, and that put Catherine here in the gold. And Leah Jansen played 14-year-old Annalie Waters in the semifinals, and we had extra pickleball there at 15, 13, 12, 10, so she had a battle there to get to this gold.
The other interesting thing, we talked about this at the top, was that those semifinal matches were on Thursday. So not only have they had a lot of time to think about the fact that they're playing on Sunday for gold, but you have to change gears too after playing in doubles all day on Saturday, and now you're back to playing singles, which you haven't played in a couple of days.
That's correct, and these pros are used to doing that, Dave. They're not strangers to playing multiple events, especially with the bigger tournaments, especially on something like this with Championship Sunday. Simone Jardim and Ben Johns are, I think, in 2 other divisions as well, so they have to flip that switch on and off.
Point there by Parento, as that did just catch the line. So it's going to tighten this first game up, 3-4 now.
And one thing you'll see in singles is that the points aren't quite as long as they are in doubles. There's a lot more passing shots. Looks a little more similar to mini tennis, if you will. And they're going to look to end the points quickly. And momentum's a big thing in singles. You can run away with a match very quickly in singles.
Yeah, Parento now has reeled off 3 consecutive points, make it 4 consecutive points.
The score is 6-4.
And a timeout being taken here by Jansen as she'll try and quell the momentum from Parento. So our first hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
Hey, Katie, could you pass me the creamer?
Why don't you just come into the kitchen and get the creamer?
I can't come in the kitchen.
Sure you can.
No, I really can't.
You can come into the kitchen as long as you don't hit the ball out of the air.
All right. That's why I stay out of kitchens.
Leah Jansen got off to an early lead in this opening game of the Women's Pro Singles gold medal match, but it has been Catherine Parento on the roll. 4 consecutive points by Parento to take this 6-4 lead, and she looks to add to it here. And she does, as Jansen unable to return that. So 7-4 now.
7-4.
The net shot, little wave by Jansen, but she will get the side out as a result of that friendly bounce.
Sometimes you need a little luck on your side there to get that ball back and stifle the momentum of your opponent.
What a great winning shot there by Parento.
Yeah, and one of the things she did really well in that point is she hit the serve, and on her third, she was able to get up there and capture the net. She kept Leia back.
Nice cross-court winner there by Jansen. So these ladies going back and forth.
4-7. Side out.
That served long by Jansen.
Yeah, Dave, this first game, these ladies are going to be getting those nerves under control. They're going to start trying to feel each other out in this first game. And of course, being a best 3 out of 5 series, this first game is not quite as significant or heavy. They can both spend a little time feeling the game out.
Jansen doing nice work right up at that kitchen line. And then the soft shot, Parento caught up to it, but couldn't get it back over the net.
Yeah, it's great hustle by Catherine Parento right there. Leah Jansen recognizing that she was keeping Catherine back, but Catherine was continuing to get the ball over the net. She drops it in soft for a point.
Leah Jansen, who played tennis collegiately at Washington State. Also has spent some time as a tennis instructor before adopting pickleball on a more full-time basis. That was a nice little shot out of Jansen, but Parento able to cover some ground and ends up winning that exchange.
Yeah, Parento fired that ball right into the body of Leah Jansen there. Ball was below the net. Somehow she was able to roll it.
Jansen now using another timeout as Parento is 2 points away from taking this first game. We'll take a hydration break as well, brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
Lucia Kovalova. Pickleball cocktail.
And cut.
Patrick, did you get all the shots you need? Because I would really like to go play pickleball.
Lucy, I'm making art here. Did Michelangelo take a break from the Sistine Chapel to go play soccer?
Places, everyone.
If she's got to go, I can take her spot.
Well, we'll see if that timeout from Leah Jansen pays dividends. Catherine Parento looking to finish off this opening game in this best 3 out of 5.
Point.
Wow, nice cross-court winner there. And now a point away from the game.
Yeah, Leah Jansen got hesitant right there, and the ball went right by her.
A couple of nice backhands there by Jansen, and she will get the serve back, but a big hill to climb here if she wants to come back in this first game.
In Jansen's corner is Tyson Mcguffin, a world-class singles player in pickleball, so maybe he's given her some insight.
Point.
That was impressive.
Yeah, both these ladies have really strong forehand drives. They're going to look to pass each other down the lines, and that was an exceptional drive by Jansen there.
We will be seeing Tyson Mcguffin, who you just mentioned. He'll be playing for the men's gold against Ben Johnson later on here on championship court. And Jansen now a couple of consecutive points.
She waited a little long at now 6-10 to make her move, but it's never too late in pickleball. The momentum can swing in the blink of an eye.
And make it 3 straight points, so 7-10.
That point was set up from Leah Jansen's serve. She kept Catherine really far back, and then Leah was able to come up and capture that non-volley zone.
Oh, what a great shot on the baseline by Jansen.
The receiver calls a timeout.
My goodness, I thought that ball was going to jam her up at her feet, and somehow she got that ball past the paddle of Catherine Parento.
And it's now 8-10 here in game 1. This time it's Parento taking the timeout, the hydration break, brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
Hey, Joey. I got your new paddle.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Sure is. Can you sign it for me?
Sure thing. Here you go.
Thanks. Here you go, Patrick.
You actually got it.
Are you forgetting something? You didn't get that from me.
Wow. 15 seconds.
All right, well, Leah Jansen's last time out worked to change the momentum a little bit. We'll see if Catherine Parento has similar success. Scott, we do see a lot of times, and right there we see it again. You take the timeout, and so many times it pays dividends. I mean, what in your mind, what's the percentages on the success rate of that?
It's got to be 70% or greater, because when you are the one calling the timeout, you hit that reset button and you come out with some energy and excitement. And that timeout was crucial.
And it carries Catherine Parento to game 1. Take a look at game point here. She just catches that sideline to keep it in, and she takes game 1, 11-8 in this best 3 out of 5. Game 2 coming your way after this quick timeout here on Championship Court.
Not only is the speed and the power there, the consistency there, so then you can make every shot you can at every level.
Overall, I mean, I feel like I have plenty of feel, plenty of consistency as I'm hitting drops from the baseline.
That's probably the biggest thing for us is we need that consistency, like a big sweet spot.
Right.
And this Vanguard, holy cow.
The speed that I get with this paddle when I'm on the run is out of this world.
Game changer.
What a gorgeous Sunday here in the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia. The Atlanta Open presented by Acrotech. And Catherine Parento wins that first game. And Scott, how does it change your mentality? So few times do we see this format where you have to win 3 out of 5. And how about that cross-court winner by Catherine Parento? And actually, I thought that caught the line. They say it did not.
Yeah,
so it's
just
a side out. But how does it change the mentality for both sides? You win game 1, it's okay, well, that's nice, but you're far from winning the match. You lose game 1, you got plenty of time to come back.
Definitely. For me as a player, when I lose that first game, it really wakes me up and gets me going and gets me motivated.
0-0.
A little bit of a chip on my shoulder, so let's see if Leah Jansen adopts that mindset. She's got plenty of time, but it looks like Catherine Parento right now is coming out of the gate on fire.
Yeah, Catherine could take obviously a tremendous advantage if she can win this second game, put Jansen in a spot where she has to roll off 3 straight. Parento up at that kitchen line. Unable to catch up with that one, though. Beautifully placed shot by Jansen.
That's what Jansen does so well. She's able to manipulate her opponent by moving that ball left to right, and she has enough power on that engaged paddle to really put balls away.
Oh, Jansen's able to just easily hit the forehand to the other side of the court. Had Parento running to her left. Plenty of space for that winner.
And Dave, a trend I'm starting to see with Jansen is she's really getting behind that serve, creating a lot of power and spin, keeping Catherine back, and then she's able to capture that non-volley zone and dictate from there.
Side out.
Well-placed shot by Parento.
Sometimes you wonder if it's worth exerting that energy there for that ball. It was so well hit by Parento, knowing you're going to be playing potentially 5 games here.
Well, and the odds of you getting it, first of all, are remote. And if you do get it, the odds of you being back in a position to be able to hit the return are even less. And that one is wide. But when you're in the height of the point, I mean, you're not thinking that way.
For sure, and there's been times where if you get the ball back over, sometimes the opponent makes a mistake. So you always want to try for it, but I'm just wondering in this format, is it the best decision?
Side out.
Side out there. I guess the good news for these ladies is they are the first match of the day. They are completely fresh, and it is not peak temperature yet here in Atlanta. It's supposed to touch 90 before we're said and done here this afternoon.
Point.
Yeah, and I had a minute with each of these ladies before this match kicked off, and I just kind of asked them about their pre-game regimen, and both of them do eat breakfast before. Parento said she eats some oatmeal with some brown sugar, so it's interesting.
Point.
Jansen hits it long, so another point for Parento. A 3-1 advantage. Make it a 4-1 advantage.
Both these ladies on the court right now have very powerful serves, and we're seeing that play a role in these games. When you can get a deep serve like that, Dave, and keep your opponent on their heels, you're going to have a lot of opportunity going forward.
Nice cross-court winner there. And the serve will go back over to Jansen.
That was great anticipation right there by Jansen.
Catherine Parento came into this Atlanta tournament ranked 4th in the official PPA Tour singles rankings. And you wonder with this appearance here in the gold medal match, regardless of how it finishes, if Leah Jansen might be able to crack that top 5. Jardim, Tereshchenko, Esquivel, Parento, and Kelly Smith, the top 5 coming into Atlanta.
But I think it's worthy to note that Catherine Parento did not have a spectacular run at the U.S. Open last month. She was beat by the 14-year-old Annalie Waters in dominant fashion, honestly. And I'm grateful to see her back in this gold medal match, as she's a true competitor, has rebounded very nicely, and has found herself here competing against Leah Jansen today.
Point.
And that wide, so this score tightens up a little bit. 3-4 now in game 2.
Well, and this is what you see, Dave. These momentum swings in pickleball are as significant as any other pro sport out there, even more at some times.
And Catherine, or excuse me, Leah decides to let that one go.
Cannot clearly overrule that call.
So what happened right there was the ball was called out by Leah Jansen. Catherine appealed to Matthew Cross, the ref. He said he could not see it well enough to overturn it.
Side out.
So Jansen now will give this serve back to Parento. Knotted up at 4.
4-4. Point.
Jansen talking to herself right there. She's telling herself she didn't have to be that good with it. She didn't need to go that extreme.
5-4.
Hitting that ball about 3 or 4 inches wide.
Sometimes the simple shot is the best shot.
Side out.
One of the significant differences that I see in the women's pro singles versus the men's pro singles, it feels like especially with Penn Johnson, the men's pro singles, it's more cat and mouse up at the kitchen. These ladies sit back and play more of a traditional style where they're driving the ball back and forth at each other. They're not utilizing that non-volley zone quite as much. Penn Johnson is one of the best in the world at utilizing that area.
We will see him in the next match here on Championship Court. Great job tracking that down by Jansen, but Parento takes advantage of her going the other way.
Yeah, Jansen right there stretching out, doing all she could to get that ball back over, and ultimately Catherine got the best of it.
Point.
That was a nicely placed shot there by Parento to retake the lead.
So one of the things you might wonder, well, how did she not know that ball was going to be going there? It's anticipation. You've got to guess right. These ladies are really cranking on that ball.
Oh, Jansen this time working to set up that shot.
Well, the shot before, Catherine Parento rolled the two-handed backhand cross court. She tried to catch her down the line, but Leah Jansen didn't bite.
Side out.
And that's serve long, so it'll go right back over to Catherine Parento. Parento, who now resides, as I mentioned, in Florida, in Naples, Florida.
6-5.
Oh, that ball looked like it might have been out, and instead it's going to be a side out as Parento hits it into the net.
That could be big because that would have been a free point right there if that ball goes long, but it's a split-second decision, Dave.
Side out.
That one was long. So Parento looking to try and build a lead here in game 2. This is a pivotal game. She could take a commanding 2-0 lead. Instead, Jansen now will get the serve back.
Dave, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a timeout coming soon. Both these ladies with some unforced errors back and forth. It can be a little frustrating in a singles match to get the ball and give it right back. We're going to see if the timeout's called soon.
And you hear the crowd reacting as there are some other matches being played on the courts nearby here. Just off.
Receiver calls a timeout. The
just
score
off in the
is
distance
6-6.
here in Atlanta. And we got to, indeed, as you predicted, Scott, we got a timeout being taken with this game 2 being tied at 6 apiece. This hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
No way she gets this.
Let's go! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My turn.
Call 911.
So the women's singles gold continues. Catherine Parento and Leah Jansen knotted up at 6 apiece here in game number 2. That's 3 out of 5.
I think that was a well-needed timeout for both of them. Sometimes, as a stubborn player, you might not want to be the first to call that timeout, but you're thankful when your opponent calls it and you can utilize it.
Point. Jansen able to keep that return in. So she will go in front.
7-6.
Point. Make it 8-6 in favor of Jansen.
I feel like this matchup has the potential to go 5 games, Dave, as both these ladies not willing to give up an inch.
Well, you would want nothing but that as you try and go for a goal. Jansen now with a little bit of cushion here in game 2. Make it a 9-6 game.
Traditionally, where Leah Jansen struggled a little bit is closing games out. She's up 9-6. We're going to see if she can keep this composure and get game 2.
Make it 10-6. This will be game point, but not before Parento is going to use the
Receiver
timeout.
calls a timeout. The score is 10-6.
So let's take another hydration break. Brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
Pickleball is crazy. It's an all-day event. You're getting dehydrated, you get tired, and I've kind of had issues with cramping all my life. I would be taking pickle juice, salt tablets, eating mustard packets. So I've just tried to manage it, but it's been really difficult until I tried Jigsaw's Electrolyte Supreme. I would actually recommend taking Electrolyte Supreme to everybody. I haven't cramped. I'm able to go out there with confidence. So it's been a godsend for sure.
Oh, you gotta love the fans coming out here on a Sunday in Atlanta. And this crowd, no doubt, will only grow as the day continues with 5 gold medal matches here on Championship Court. If you're with us on the live stream, it's gonna be a full day of coverage following this women's pro singles gold medal match. We have the men's match with Penn Johnson against Tyson Mcguffin, then the women's pro doubles gold, men's pro doubles gold, and we'll finish it up with the mixed pro doubles gold. And there it is. So this match officially tied at a game apiece as Jansen rallies back to win this game 11-6. So we will have a minimum of 4 games to decide gold here in Atlanta between these women. Another look at game point. Friendly bounce off the net for Jansen. We'll take a break. Back with game 3 after this.
When I step onto the court, I get a burst of adrenaline. That adrenaline makes me focus, and that focus helps me win.
I love looking out and seeing my teammates standing there, supporting me, cheering me on.
People always ask me, what do you want out of a pickleball brand? For me, it's simple: performance products and support.
Performance is a head game.
Hey, it's Alex Hamner with Vulcan Pickleball Paddles. I wanted to tell you about this V510 and how I just love some of the things it does for my game. It's a hybrid, so it's really good to help get power, like, you know, from the baseline or on your serve. You want to get it nice and deep. It's good for that. But as I make my way to the net, and sometimes you got to do that defense, the little blocks, because you're just trying to drop it in the kitchen, so you can get your way up to the non-volley zone. And then while you're here, I can hit nice little dinks and drops. I've noticed my control with this paddle is just so much better. You know, I can get a little closer to the line, I can place it where I want a little better. And yet, the bonus, when you get that high ball, I still have plenty of power to put it away, and that's always fun.
Managing text chains is a hassle. Juggling social media threads is a part-time job. There should be a simpler way to play. At Pickle Play, we do it all. Find and add courts, find and message players, schedule events, create clubs and groups, and so much more. Download the only pickleball companion you need today. Pickle Play. Games for you.
15 seconds.
Well, how about that effort in Leah Jansen's favor in game number 2 as she comes back to even this best 3 out of 5 with Catherine Parento at a game apiece. So now we basically are in a best out of 3.
Side out.
Catherine Parento forces the side out to start this 3rd game.
We're seeing a little fire out of Parento right out of the gate. She's a very focused individual.
Point.
Oh, that was an impressive effort by Jansen, but unable to catch the line. So Parento with the 1-0 lead.
Point.
Make it a 2-0 lead.
Two, 0.
How about that by Jansen? Scott, you mentioned you've been here calling matches all week, and what's been your take on the way the players have enjoyed their time here in Atlanta?
Well, first of all, the weather has been spectacular here in Atlanta. In years past, we've had some weather conditions that have made it for not such fun pickleball. Wind, rain, having to move inside, back outside, those kind of things, which plays a little bit of a mental role on this taxing for these players. But they've enjoyed this weather. The battles have been epic. And I think all these players are really enjoying the new format that they're implementing, and the PPA has just done a phenomenal job here.
Is the format here to stay?
I think so. I think it's going to stay as this sport continues to evolve and the professional level comes into its own. We talked about this off camera. You know, this sport has always been thought of as a hobby, and now it's become a profession.
Parento quick out of the gates here in game number 3. A 4-0 lead forces Jansen to use her first hydration break of game 3. Brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
Guys, relax. I was able to get you each a bottle.
Up for some pickleball?
Let's go.
Seconds.
And we are back. Catherine Parento. So you said, Scott, earlier you think it's about a 70% success rate of good things happening after you use the timeout.
Yes, I've not tracked that statistically for a fact, but I have seen over and over that the person calling the timeout usually wins the next point.
And it holds true again. So the side out, good use of the timeout by Leah Jansen.
0-4. Side out.
But right back over to Catherine Parento with the serve after that goes wide.
4-0.
Parento with a little bounce in her step right now in game 3. You can see she's coming out with a lot of energy and focus. She's playing very well.
Oh, that does stay in. Oh, but how about that? Return by Jansen.
That's excellent. Just beautiful artwork there from Leah Jansen as she covered that lob and ripped it down the sideline for the winner.
And great camera work by our championship court crew as well. Shout out to all the people working behind the scenes, the camera operators, our fantastic crew in the truck.
4-0.
herself after that shot.
She said, why so fancy? And she's been doing that a couple times here where she's not needed to be so perfect.
5-0.
And she's being hard on herself there, but she just needs to regroup.
Side out.
Well, that was pretty much textbook execution right there. Nothing fancy about that. Just get Catherine Parento going the wrong way and then take advantage of the open court.
Yeah, and Dave, one thing, if you've watched pickleball in the past, the points go extremely fast. You don't have a lot of time to recover and think about what happened just prior. So these pros do a phenomenal job of just shedding what happened last point and going right back to the basics.
Points.
So the point there after catching the net, and then Parento sails it out of bounds. So the first point of game 3 here for Jansen.
1-5.
She needed that for sure.
Oh, great backhand winner there by Parento.
And Dave, as this game continues to unfold in front of us, we're in game 3, you'll start to see these ladies make adjustments to each other. They start to see tendencies and things that they do over and over, and so you'll start seeing some adjustments being made, as we saw there.
Point.
But Parento now gets it back to a 5-point advantage. This is a pivotal third game.
6-1. Point.
And that was long on the return.
If Leah Jansen doesn't do something right now to turn this momentum, this game is going to get out of hand very quickly.
We will replay. I'll recall the score.
They'll replay after
7-1.
the net on the serve.
Side out.
And that shot just wide. So Jansen, she's going to have to make a move right here if she wants to try and win this third game.
We saw Jay DeVilliers come back from a 10-2 deficit the other day in singles. It can be done, but in order to do so, you have to buckle down and be smart with your shot selections.
And instead, she's only going to get 1 point on that service opportunity. And now Parento, chance to get closer here to a 2-1 advantage.
With the caliber of player that Leah Jansen's up against, when it's 8-2, it's going to be like climbing up a mountain, perhaps Mount Everest.
Well, right now she's in an 8-2 hole. She uses the timeout. We'll take this hydration break again, brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
I got it. I got it.
Thanks, Ben.
I got it. I got it. Thanks, Ben. I got it. I got it. Hello, this is Jigsaw Health.
Thanks, Ben.
I'm on a call. Uh-huh. Yours.
Thanks, Ben.
Well, we'll see whether or not the form holds. We're 100% today, Scott, in this match on timeouts, with the person calling the timeout winning the next point exchange. So see whether or not this works again. Leah Jansen in a hole. And there we go.
Side out.
So still batting 1,000 here. And it's true, when they come out of those timeouts, they tend to reset and get the upper hand, as we just saw there.
Side out.
But it doesn't last for long. Parento will get it back now, just 3 points away.
Jansen's body language right now is indicative of somebody being down 8-2. She's got to find a way to turn this around, get her positive thinking going in the right direction. She's up against a strong opponent, though.
Wow. That was a nice shot by Leah, and a couple of shots to catch up to it, but the last one just too long.
Yeah, she was extended all the way out. She did all she could to get the paddle on that one.
And now we're going to have game point. Parento 10-2.
When Parento's playing this way with this type of focus and energy, and her shots are just landing exactly where she wants them to go, she's going to be winning 10-2 at this point.
Little drop shot there, and how about Parento catching up to it?
Miss Parento wins the
Beautifully
second game,
executed by Catherine Parento.
11-2.
After Jansen tried to catch her off guard, Catherine was having nothing of it.
Let's take a look at that replay, Dave, as she hit that nice backhand slice on the run, cross-court past Leah Jansen. Dipped it in about 2 inches inside the net to end game 3.
So a decisive 11-2 victory in game 3. She leads this gold medal match 2-1 here in Atlanta.
The pickleball community is growing rapidly and evolving. Duper brings accuracy, transparency, and adaptability to the sport. Fair and competitive play is a better experience for everyone. This is our pickleball community. And now Duper will make every match count.
One thing I really noticed before I came on to Gearbox, other paddles change over time. They start to slowly deteriorate, and at about that 3 or 4 month mark, just kind of felt dead. And then I would switch to a new paddle, and it was kind of too fast, because then it had to degrade to get into that sweet spot again. I've been using the GX5 for just about a year now. Same paddle that I picked up the first time I hit it. Haven't switched paddles, and it feels exactly the same a year later, and that's huge.
Back here in Atlanta, Catherine Parento with the decisive 2-1 advantage in this best 3 games out of 5. Dave Ben, Scott Golden, Hannah Johns along with you on our championship court coverage here on Championship Sunday and Side Out. So Jansen will get the serve back.
Dave, we're getting into the deep water of this 3 out of 5 now as we're into game 4. Neither of these ladies are accustomed to going this long in singles. We're going to see how this plays out.
Side out.
I don't believe fitness is going to be a huge issue. Both these ladies are in exceptional fitness. Their stamina and endurance is second to none, and so I think it's going to come down to shot selection and unforced errors, as we just saw from Leah Jansen there.
So Parento with the 1-0 lead.
1-0. Side out.
Parento trying to play that sideline a couple of straight shots, and the last one goes wide.
And then she pointed down the inside-in shot, which is the forehand roll. She wanted to maybe go that way, but chose the opposite.
Oh, what a great backhand there by Parento with the precision.
Well, one of the things Catherine Parento's doing is she's finding little windows to get up to that non-volley zone, and then she's able to anticipate the drive from Leah Jansen.
Side out.
And that shot wide. You can hear Parento expressing her displeasure with herself. Scott, so many of these pickleball players do have a tennis background, as we mentioned is true with Jansen and Parento. Do you feel like the tennis background benefits them a little bit more in singles than maybe it does in doubles?
100%. Oftentimes, tennis players from a high level, either from college or even pro level tennis, come over and are instantly good at pickleball and singles. It takes them a little bit longer to adjust to the doubles strategies. They still have all the shots, but it takes them a little longer.
1-0. And the footwork no doubt translates whether you're playing doubles or singles.
They kind of look at it as almost a joke because this court is a quarter of the size of a real tennis court. If anybody follows tennis, you know they stay back at the baseline and they have a lot more driving and passing shots. But in this, you have a combination of the two. Sometimes you stay back and drive for the baseline. Other times you're going to come up and attack. Makes it for really interesting pickleball.
Parento tried to get that one out of the air and instead hits it into the net. So Jansen gets her first point here of game 4.
1-1. And she needs to keep this game close. In game 3, she let that game 3 get out of hand, Dave, and that's not what she wants here. She's going to want to keep the lead. I know it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be close. But she's got to find ways to get points on the board.
Well, she's got 3 straight now.
When we've seen these runs from them, it's been 3 or 4 spurts in a row, and then they'll call a timeout.
And that's exactly what has happened here. Parento uses the timeout. So another hydration break brought to you by our friends at Jigsaw Health.
Delicious. Very delicious. Very delicious. Bye.
Catherine Parento. She is in a little bit of a hole here in game number 4 as she tries to close out a gold medal here in Atlanta. The Atlanta Open brought to you by Acrotech.
I would not be surprised at all, Dave, if this goes to 5 games. If Jansen can continue this type of play at this caliber in game 4, we very well could see our first 5th game of this best 3 out of 5 series.
When you think the momentum swing, if Jansen is able to win game 4, she would have all the momentum going into game 5, and she now has a 4-1 lead. So Parento wants no part of a 5th game.
4-1. That was, I think, the first time where the receiver that called the timeout did not win the point.
I was just going to mention that exactly. That you're exactly true on that. And so I'd say the percentage is about right, because that's about the 5th timeout we've had in this match. And we were 4 for 4 to start, unofficially.
Absolutely. So here's a pivotal point in this game 4 as Leah Jansen just sided out and missed a return. So Catherine Parento's going to try to capitalize on this opportunity here to get back in it.
But instead, Jansen, with other ideas, she gets the serve back after the side out.
Great anticipation there from Jansen to get that ball back. 4-2.
Side out. Jansen hits wide, though, so now Parento another opportunity.
I think she's missing some of those because of the player that she's playing against. Catherine Parento makes you work hard for every point. She's trying to do a little too much with some of these shots. For example, trying to get a nice, strong, deep return. Sometimes you're going to miss those trying to do too much with it.
3-4.
Point. So tied up now at 4 apiece, and suddenly Parento feeling like she's taking control here. Already up 2 games to 1.
We saw the same thing in game 1 as Leah jumped out to 3-0 lead, and then Catherine Parento just came roaring back. This is the same scenario.
The score is 5-4.
And that's going to force Leah Jansen to use a timeout. 5-4 Parento, just 6 points away from taking gold here in Atlanta. Another hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
It's pickleball cocktail. It's pickleball cocktail. It's pickleball cocktail. I don't cream. When I step on the court, this is what I do. Okay. Everybody cramping, cause they ain't got that new. I got this cocktail in my glass, and I ain't afraid to drink it. Drink it, drink it, drink it. I pickle and I love it. It's pickleball cocktail. It's pickleball cocktail. It's pickleball cocktail. I don't cramp.
Leah Jansen had the lead 4-1. Now Catherine Parento with a 5-4 advantage.
15 seconds. I don't think anyone's surprised that Catherine Parento has made a big push and now taking the lead here in Game 4, Dave. She's an exceptional singles player as well as a mixed doubles and women's doubles pro. Leah Jansen, newer on the scene, but has made a huge impression on the pro level as she's hearing the gold medal match.
Side out.
Oh, beautifully executed there by Jansen.
And another timeout by the receiver. Comes out, hits that reset button, and wins the next point.
Point.
And that was just wide, so Jansen able to tie it up.
5-5. Side out.
But Parento now will get a chance to surge ahead.
Not sure exactly what happened there to Jansen.
Timeout.
She may have
1 minute.
scraped her knee just a bit. She's got a
Oh
little
yeah, there's
blood
blood
flowing.
on the knee right now.
I think when she went, she stretched out, Dave, to get that ball. She scraped that right knee, and this is brand new surface by Acrotech Sports Surfaces. It's very gritty, and when you scrape your skin up against that, it's gonna draw blood.
So we have a 1 minute injury timeout. We'll take a break as well here in Atlanta.
Gear from top brands like Selkirk, Paddletech, Onyx, Vulcan, and more, as well as the new Feel of Pickleball collection of footwear and apparel. You'll also find stories, player profiles, and videos